let me also go across to Kiran Bedi, who's also joining us over the phone line. Ma'am, this is certainly a big reaction that we are witnessing coming in this morning of the former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh, who has now appeared before the Mumbai Police Crime Branch after being missing for 231 days. And if we look at his statements that he has issued by his lawyer in the Supreme Court, he now states that he fears for his life as well, and several strong reactions. Your first reaction to this?
Well, I don't doubt what he's saying, that there will be a fear for his life. I don't doubt it. Because what information he has, whether it indicts him or others, he's certainly a threat to the others. What consequences it has on him, only time will tell. Because what finally goes before the court as evidence, and how much cognizance the court takes. But I certainly agree that there will be a threat to his life, because he is going to, whatever he spills, and if he's going to indict others outside his service, those concerned outside his service, certainly will come to regret and will rue their time. So I think, number one, what he's saying is right. There is a threat to his life. Number two, what it also establishes, the rule of law. The manner in which the Apex Court, that is the Honorable Supreme Court, held on to say, now declare him a proclaimed offender. Now, the moment that threat loomed large on being a proclaimed offender, I think that would have been the doomsday for him. Because first, short of that, now he gets a right to defend himself, right to clear himself and produce evidence to the contrary. Now, what that would be, only he knows, because only he has evidence. Fourth, to my mind, he certainly owes an explanation to the Indian Police Service and the All India Civil Services, because he's a very critical member of the leadership of the Indian Police Service. He owes all of us members of the Indian Police Service an explanation of his conduct. What did he do? Why did he do? Who made him do? And what made him do whatever he did? I think he certainly owes an explanation, because he will be a case study for the future training programs of what an officer as a leader of a police force and a prestigious force like Maharashtra Police should not be. So I think there are lots of things he owes, and now time alone will tell how much we get to know him, whether we feel sorry for him or whether we feel angry on him. I think again time will tell. But he certainly owes an explanation to the service and to the people as a whole, that person of that stature, that level, that qualifications, that position, I think, why did he do what he did?
In fact, ma'am, another question to you. The Maharashtra government has taken very strongly on Parambir Singh's claim in the court, and slamming. We have likes of Sharad Pawar and Dilip Walse Patil, who's the Home Minister for the state, questioning that how can be he scared of the force that he once headed? What is your take on that? And as you rightly pointed out, that questions, and he is in a way accountable as well to be answered, and he should answer why was he missing for so many days?
That's right. But I think just as he may be having sympathizers within the service and outside, he'll also have very strong enemies within the service and outside. Because by his spilling the beans or his coming out openly, he will hurt where it hurts the most, whether people in uniform or not in uniform. So therefore he's right. There is an open threat to his life, and he will need to be protected.
All right. Thank you so much, Kiran Bedi, for joining us here on Republic TV. And if you can also stay with us, and for another quick question as well, ma'am. What next? Do you also believe that the investigation might now also be more clearer and more transparent? Because remember, in the court, he has mentioned about the fact that he fears for his life. But at the same time, the court has also come out and stated that what about the common people? If a former Mumbai Police Commissioner says that he fears for his life, what about the common people? And he must join the investigation while he has been missing for over 230 days.
Well, that is what will go against it. just by saying that he's afraid of his life and being away from law and running away from law, I think he owes a very severe explanation to the courts and to the country as a whole, and to the police department particularly also. But as I said, that he will certainly have a threat to his life, and he has a reason. But now, remember, investigation will be based on, courts will be relying on evidence, concrete evidence, not hearsay, he said, I said this. So I think all this will require a lot of electronic mail examinations, and not just tutu meme, because there will be no evidence of that. So what will now depend on what is the concrete evidence of his conduct, if it is criminal, if it goes onto the criminal angle. But as I said, he will have enemies both sides, within uniform and outside. But just as he'll have sympathizers also both sides. Therefore, he would need protection. Now, there's a difference between a common man and him. While the common man also would need a protection on similar side, his enemies will be more powerful. They will be powerful both in muscle and money and position. Remember that. So position, muscle and money will be against him because of the potential he has in spilling the beans.
Well, yes, also another thing to be asked right now is, Kiran Bedi ji, you said that he owes an explanation to the court for not responding. There were several lookout notices. There are 3 non-bailable warrants. But also the timing needs to be questioned, because his counterpart, Sachin Waze, who is in the custody of the authorities, he's ready to spill the beans. And now Parambir Singh is also, something that I want to ask you, wants to go foreign shopping. He wants to suggest and pick and choose which authority is going to question him. How do you see those kind of arguments that were put forth by his legal counsels in the apex court as well?
Well, the case, I believe, is only before the CBI. So CBI is the key investigating agency. And therefore, now he can't keep questioning CBI or not CBI. I don't think he's questioned that. But now he is equally entitled to a fair investigation. Remember that. So what one accused says or the other accused says is not the issue. Issue is evidence. Who produces what kind of irrefutable evidence, because in the end the trial will be based on evidence. And not he said or who said and that media statement or that media. It will be not by statement. It will be by concrete evidence. And he's now, if once he's an accused, he's equally entitled to the rights of the accused to defend himself. You see, though you may not have sympathies with any accused, but the accused also has rights to defend himself. Now he will produce evidence which will indict others and give him a strong defense. So therefore, we cannot hold that against him, because once you've given him an accused status and that he's been away, and therefore he has an equal right to defend. So when he defends himself, then obviously he has to produce evidence which satisfies the courts of law. That's where the rule of law is. Courts will not go by statements in public or statements made otherwise, or the statements only of the accused, because accused statements will not be relevant to my mind, because he's an accused and he has the equal right to indict others. So I think it's now a trial of justice. Who's got clear evidence, who's got better evidence? Now, whether as a commissioner he has retained valuable evidence to defend himself, and his lawyer has also will do his homework, well, I think we are in for a long trial ahead in the courts of votes going up to the highest court. So I think it's going to be quite a handful of news for you media for the next few years.